The men's soccer team took on Michigan at Armstrong Stadium this past week. They looked to protect a number 17 ranking against a strong Wolverines team. Rachel Benson has more.
The Hoosiers hoped they would come out with a win, but Michigan's Jake Stacy scored in the first minute and a half, the one and only goal of the night. The Hoosiers played aggressive with a 20-9 advantage in shots.
You could think, hey, my team's playing pretty good, but again, it's not about how good you look and how many shots. It's about how many goals you put in the back of the net. It's about how many you keep out of yours, and we got to find a way to do that consistently.
Senior midfielder Brad Ring had 7 shots and was given a yellow card late in the second half of the game, his 5th yellow card of the season, preventing him from playing in the next game.
Looking at our opposition coming up, maybe it's the game for Ringer to sit out.
Despite not executing on offense, senior midfielder John Mellencamp is confident in his team's ability to deliver.
If things click right and we focus on our final third passes and finishing and make sure we clean up all the garbage in the back, you're going to see a team that's extremely difficult to beat.
Following 2 straight disappointing losses at home, the Hoosiers will try to regroup on the road against Butler Tuesday night and then against Michigan State on Sunday. Again, the Hoosiers fall to Michigan 1-0. At Bill Armstrong Stadium, I'm Rachel Benson, Hoosier Sports Night.
All right, thanks, Rachel. It was tough luck for both soccer teams as the ladies dropped decisions at Iowa and at Minnesota, both 1-0. Versus Iowa, it was Alyssa Koznek who delivered the fatal blow, even though the Hoosiers outshot the Hawkeyes by a ratio of 2-1. Indiana took their game against Minnesota into overtime before Gopher Lindsay Schwartz decided to end the scoreless tie.
The women's volleyball team is riding a big losing streak into their home match versus Michigan State. Josh Greenberg and Kristin Carroll were there to tell if they were able to buck the trend.
The women's volleyball team came into the match versus Michigan State University hungry for their first Big Ten win.
I thought we really stuck to the game plan. Our intensity stayed pretty high, and I thought they played a lot harder tonight and just really was hungry for a win.
They had 4 players in double digits in kills, led by Erica Short with 14, which helped to keep the pressure on a tough Michigan State team, defeating them 3-1.
Practiced a lot for the setter dumps. We tried blocking as many of those dumps as we could. We also practiced a lot of blocking cutbacks.
The Hoosiers not only stopped their 3-game Big Ten losing streak, but also their 4-game losing streak overall.
I think that they finished really well. That those last 5 points or so that we really attacked Michigan State instead of hoping that they were going to make errors. So I really felt like we stayed on the aggressive side, and I thought that was a really good thing to take away.
The Hoosiers dug themselves into a hole early on in conference play, but they hope that this is the first step in getting them out. In Bloomington, I'm Josh Greenberg, Hoosier Sports Night.
The Indiana women's volleyball team picked up a much-needed win against Michigan State on Friday, defeating the Spartans 3-1. Key to the Hoosiers' success was sophomore Ashley Benson, who happens to be a Bloomington native.
Oh, I love it. Just every chance we get to play at home, it's wonderful because during the games I'll kind of look up into the crowds and I'll see my family in the same spot every game.
And that family support, combined with a strict conditioning program, has helped Benson in averaging 3.21 kills per game, the second highest on the team.
From my freshman year till now, my whole family can tell a difference in my muscles and everything, and my coach has also said something about it.
Ashley's really improved over the last year. She's gotten in the weight room a lot. Her intensity's picked up. We're getting her the ball in some good places right now, so she's just being really aggressive.
Benson proved that it's still early in the Big Ten season, helping the Hoosiers improve their record 1-3. At University Gym, I'm Kristin Carroll, Hoosier Sports Night.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Penn State is not only the defending national champions, but they also have a #1 ranking. A Hoosier upset was unlikely, but as a famous man once said, you play to win the games. Nick Lagrange has a few words of his own from the match.
The Lady Hoosiers faced their toughest test of the season when the Lady Nittany Lions of Penn State came to town. After the game, we got a chance to talk with Coach Dunbar.
There's a lot of teams that aren't even getting to 15 points with them. So I think we played with them to a certain extent, and then they turn up the intensity, being the #1 team in the nation. They can run off 4, 5, 6 points in a row. But, I was proud of us for doing some things that we really focused on doing in practice and in the walkthrough. And I think we came through with some really tough serving, and we stayed aggressive with our swings.
The Lady Hoosiers faced number 1 Penn State Wednesday night, dropping 3 straight sets, 25-17, 25-18, and 25-19. This loss drops the Lady Hoosiers to 0-3 in the Big Ten.
Lady Hoosier Julie Pierce also commented on the team's performance.
I think you're exactly right. We started out really slow. When we started to pick it up, it got a lot better, and we started to compete with them. Yeah, I think mainly just our energy level. You know, we were right there with them till about point 13 in the first and second set, and the third set we got to about point 19. We were right there with them till they pulled ahead. So I think just our energy level, bringing that to the third set, and we really stuck with them.
From University Gymnasium, I'm Nick Lagrange, Hoosier Sports.
Thanks, Nick. The women's tennis team was able to take a lot of positives from their performance in the Hoosier Classic, which covered 3 days of ball versus racket action. Alba Bardala and Maria Guerrero won the cream doubles flight 8-2 for the championship, while the team split their 4 singles matches on the final day of the tournament. Coming up after the break, we'll catch up with Indiana kicker Austin Starr, who always has something to say.
Also, Hoosier Sports Night's Lucas Mayer tells us about the successes of the men's club volleyball team. Exciting times right here on Hoosier Sports Night.